Oh, hey, how you doing? Let me turn this off a second. Oh, good morning. Oh, sometimes it's nice to just rest, isn't it? It's nice to rest. Oh, you're probably wondering, isn't that lazy? Aren't you wasting time? Wait a minute. You don't realize that resting might be the godliest thing you can do. Check this out. This is Psalm 3. Oh Lord, I have so many enemies. So many are against me. So many are saying God will never rescue them. There's this assumption that God won't rescue me. But you, O Lord, are a shield around me. You are my glory, the one who holds my head high. I cried out to the Lord, and he answered me from his holy mountain. He answered me. And then it says in Psalm 3, verse 5. So here he is surrounded by all his enemies. In his mind, he's worried that everybody's against me. He hears the voices of people saying, "You're doomed. You're not going to make it. You're a loser." So what does David do? Psalm 3, verse 5. I lay down and slept. I lay down and slept. What is he doing sleeping? What is he doing? And it says, well, I woke up in safety, for the Lord was watching over me. Listen to that verse again. I lay down and slept, yet I woke up in safety, for the Lord was watching over me. And as I considered this verse, I was writing down what it means to me, and listen to what I believe this means. The phrase I lay down and slept means the worries are not gone. The difficulties, yes, they are overwhelming, but I realize when I go to sleep, I can do nothing to save myself when my enemies attack. Sometimes life is overwhelming, let's admit it. So, David goes to sleep. What is sleep? It's a position of weakness, vulnerability, and ... trust. Sleeping is trust? Yes. Why? Well, listen here. A sleeping person is passive. They cannot rescue themselves. But God is there, and he has my back. That's the whole point. David says, I lay down and I slept. Sometimes when people are overwhelmed, they can't sleep. What they do is they worry. They bite their fingernails. I bite my fingernails. They scheme and they plan and they feel like all of their problems are their fault. And a lot of them are. A lot of them are our fault. But we have a God who sees our problems, as it says here in verse 6 or chapter 6. He has compassion on me because I am weak. He has compassion on me because I am weak. That's the point. I lay down and slept. The worries are not gone. The difficulties are not gone. I can do nothing to save myself, and yet David goes to sleep. Why? Because sleeping proves trust. Sleeping is another way of saying resting. Placing your life in the hands of God. Storms are everywhere. Difficulties are everywhere. And I know I cannot overcome them on my own. Either my Father has my back or he doesn't. Faith, and the kind that is willing to fall asleep in the midst of trials, faith believes he has my back. I was thinking through this morning. In Psalm 6, the writer says, when difficulties arise, my visions are blurred. Because of my fragility, I cannot see clearly through my crying eyes. I don't understand rightly because I calculate without having all the facts. Especially if my solutions are only up to me, I have no resources. I don't have the resources to handle all my problems. So when I calculate, I see that I'm not capable, and I cry. That's when my vision is blurred. I sit and I cry. But did you know crying is praying, and sleeping is knowing that he heard my crying? It's incredible. That's why it says later in Psalm 6, the Lord will answer my prayer. This squeaky wheel, this crying bag of bones receives his grace. And then here's a final word. I have a sneaky suspicion. God orchestrates my weaknesses, so I will need him. He wants me to need him, not to prove he's great, even though he is great, but so I can experience his person. He wants me to need him so I can experience his person. If I was fully capable, I would never need him. If I was a person that had it all together, I would be a person that would never turn to God. My neediness is the motivation to reach out to him. And when I reach out to him, his compassion is aroused. When I reach out to him and his compassion is aroused and he hears me, I know then I can rest. Go to sleep. Enjoy his compassion. When's the last time you rested? I mean, I'm looking up at a blue sky right now, and I'm able to say, God, you're so good. When is the last time you realized you can't do it and enjoyed it? You know what? I've realized I've come to know Christ at the age of 23. And since I've been 23, I'm 53 now. That's 30 years. I don't know if I've ever been capable. Honestly. I don't know if I've ever had enough to survive. And sometimes I would be like, man, am I going to make it another year? 30 years. One thing 30 years has taught me, that it's more important to get your sleep than to worry. Rest in him. Rest in him today. And it's going to get sunny today. Sunday, my dog's looking out at me. He cannot come out. Sunday, we're going to have an update on where we're at in this process of moving together as a church. We want to get back together as a church. We want to meet together. Hold your angst, hold your anger. Derek expressed it wonderfully yesterday. And find some rest. Have you rested even these last 2 months, or have you just been on social media getting angry? Rest. Because rest and sleep is the highest form of flattery to God. Do you believe that?